Is an evil soul killing folks using toys?
I told you when we watched it, this is not child's play.
Does the evil soul do this at a warehouse of toys after a shootout between cops and criminals?
I told you when we watched this, it is not child's play.
Is the evil soul trying to get into a child's body so that it can truly live?
I told you when we watched this, it's not child's play.
All this and more on Gory Story Time.
Warning. Gory Story Time is a horror movie review show by a son and his dad who thought that letting his 5-year-old watch scary movies was acceptable. If you are offended by horror or talk about blood and gore by a child, or if you don't want horror movies from the 60s through today spoiled, then there is a remote stuck in your couch cushion next to potato chip crumbs. Use it. And of course, parental discretion is advised.
Why? You didn't use any.
Shut up and start the show.
Welcome to Gory Story Time. I'm your host, Jason.
I'm his co-host and his father, Craig. And this week, as you can see from the poster, we are doing demonic toys. The basic premise is they wanted to have toys kill a bunch of people and slap together a story to have that happen.
A story, yes.
Well, by that viewing of a bunch of people being killed in cool ways by toys.
Yes, they wanted to film a bunch of killer toys killing people as toys.
I will give away a little hint. We did enjoy this, but don't look into plot.
Don't do that.
You'll have a bad time. And there's no need because this was a fun movie.
Yeah.
But we'll get into that a little more later. So basically, there's a shootout between two cops and two gun runners.
Yes.
Was what it was. And they
one
were
of the
a
cops
couple.
gets shot,
And the
and
man
then one of the
gets
criminals
shot.
gets shot.
Well, both criminals make it out of that situation, and the female cop out of the two cops is the only survivor from a shootout, and she goes in this warehouse after them.
Yes.
Unbeknownst to her, but soon to be beknownst to us, I guess. They actually run into toys that are coming to life and trying to murder them. And then there's a delivery boy who happens to show up to deliver food to a security guard, and they get involved,
warehouse.
unfortunately. So there's the cop, two killers, or two gun runners, a delivery boy, and the
cop. No.
The security guard.
Yes.
All trying to get out from the, where these toys are trying to murder them.
Oh, and then at some point,
and there's a magical
girl.
little boy who is making that happen, but he's not a little boy. He's comes
a demon.
As a little boy. Whatever.
Yes. And there's a girl hiding in the tunnels inside of the warehouse.
Just happens
knows all
to
of the
know
stuff.
exactly what's going on, but it's not affecting her personally at the time when she announces what's going on, which is weird.
So this is 2 in a row where it's someone just shows up and says some stuff, and it's okay, yeah, this is canon now.
That was definitely an 80s trope. This is 90s.
I loved it.
But, random person just knows everything you need. Locally, that was done in the first episode of Vilas Bridge, too, if you remember, the person at the library. But it's a trope for a reason, because it helps get people to be on the same page when, the story doesn't necessarily tell you that.
Don't go there.
Anyway.
It is evil there.
Yeah. That's about all I can say without spoiling much. Why don't we roll the trailer, which is awesome.
For 66 years, evil has been waiting, watching, wanting for someone to play with its toys.
Gonna have a lot of fun here tonight, friend. toys. Someone's inside the toys. What do you want?
Oopsie daisy.
Before the night is through, I'll be born in a human body, flesh and blood.
Demonic toys. Playtime has begun.
All right.
Yeah, it was a short one, unfortunately, but it was
Yeah.
the only trailer I could find.
Well, speaking of short,
Oh.
speaking of killer toys,
This movie is not Child's Play.
it's not.
It really isn't.
I'm sure there was no inspiration taken
I
at
bet
any
these
point.
guys never even saw Child's Play.
That was about voodoo. This is about demon possession. They're not the same. Anyway, any Christian watching is going, it's all evil.
Do not practice sorcery. What was that?
Correct. But now's the part where we give our sponsors a shout out. And by our sponsors, I mean real companies that actually exist. I haven't said that in a little while.
Yeah, almost a week.
I don't do it every week. Not that line. Sometimes I work it back in. Anywho, not really the point. What we do is we pimp ourselves out to whoever will pay us any money. This week we were all paid in double-headed pennies.
Oh my goodness.
But to be fair, there were like tens of them.
There was almost a dozen.
No, tens would be like 20. Come on now. Don't be silly. We wouldn't do this for nothing. This week, Gory Story Time is brought to you by Digital Gore. We're like Pixar for horror. We take the premise of popular CGI kids movies and make them scary and very bloody. From Deadly Toy Story to Finding Piranha, we take the best children's entertainment and make it gory. Digital Gore, because you're not a kid anymore.
Ooh. All right.
Cars is just the movie Christine done in CG.
Oh my goodness. Oh my god. I can't even imagine that car having a smile on its face. No thanks. Its face. I can't imagine its face. All right. And by Possessed and Haunted Rentals. We are exactly what you think we are. Owners of rental properties thought to have ghosts, be possessed by demons, or even next door to a Starbucks. Ugh. You don't believe in that any of that nonsense? Then we have some great rental properties for you. Warehouses, homes, restaurants, and more. Possessed and haunted rentals. What? Are you a chicken? Bok, 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 bok.
And they're also not responsible for any possessed people that,
may be an outcome of the property. Yeah.
All right. Now, here comes the part of the show that he likes to call the meat and beef.
Or this week, just, I guess, the meat.
That's also the title of my autobiography coming soon.
Just the meat.
No, anyway.
Look for it in stores near you.
Normally we try to do 20 facts, behind the scenes type stuff. After a lot of extensive research, I got 12.
Yeah.
And that's more than what they had on the first place we go where we get our info. Well, I go because you don't do it.
I don't do anything. I was at work today.
You want to go first or you want me?
Sure. Originally titled Dangerous Toys, but later changed to Demonic Toys after a rock band of the same name issued a cease and desist claim against the title.
In the last two scenes, the movie playing in the background is actually Puppet Master. Oh, in at least, not the last, sorry. In at least two scenes, the movie playing in the background is Puppet Master 2. 12 years after this movie was released, The demonic toys meet the figures from Puppet Master in a crossover film that was made for the Sci-Fi Channel.
Okay. Writer David S. Goyer was originally set to direct the...
Film?
Oh, yeah, the film before Peter Manoogian was brought in.
This was Ellen Dunning's last acting role before retiring. I'm guessing that was the one.
Which one that was.
There was only one female in the...
Two.
Was there?
The young girl.
Oh,
It'd be weird
true.
if she quit after,
yeah,
that early, but...
Or maybe she was just one and done. That happens, but it doesn't sound like that's...
Bentley Mitchum's father, Chris Mitchum, previously appeared in The Day Time Ended, another movie produced by Charles Band, the producer of Demonic Toys.
When Hess is shot in the stomach by Mr. Static Toy, that's the name of the robot.
Oh, of course.
It's literally Mr. Static. You can clearly see the squibs under his shirt, which then explode for the bloody effect.
By the way, awesome.
Yes.
Ridiculous.
Yes.
During the scene where baby Oopsie Daisy is drawing the circle around the security guard, you can see the puppeteer's hand for several seconds behind the doll.
As Grizzly Teddy, another awesome name.
I hate that one.
It's a teddy bear. That's not what you said when you heard it.
I
told him that the character's name was Grizzly Teddy, and he's like, that is amazing.
I mean, for how bad it is.
So they just went with Grizzly Teddy. When he's attacking Chernetsky by mauling and biting him, you can see the puppeteer's sleeve and arm in some shots on the bottom right of the screen.
Yeah.
I noticed it at the time.
Oh, yeah. I saw the hand with the baby Oopsie. On the Blu-ray release from 88 Films, Chernetsky's death is edited. Here, he is shown being stabbed by baby Oopsie Daisy once, while the original U.S. Paramount VHS Chernetsky is shown being stabbed multiple times.
That's the one in the eyes,
weak.
right?
Yeah.
That was...
We'll
get into that later.
Probably.
I will. The toys also appear in a compilation of classic kills, mayhem, and mischief, and terror from Full Moon's Puppets and Dolls called When Puppets and Dolls Attack. They've done so many movies with Puppet Master and these and Dollman. And
yeah.
They just decided to do a compilation of just kills from all of them.
When Puppets and Dolls Attack. Gonna have to write that down so I can look for that. Multiple sequels were made combining the demonic toys with other Full Moon characters, Dollman and also Puppet Master.
And multiple spin-offs have been made. So far, there are 3 about the baby Oopsie character, and 1 due this month. We're doing this in the beginning of August
of 2023.
And August 25th, they're supposed to release Demonic Toys Jack in the Box. So we're probably going to start collecting all of these films because they are
ridiculous.
Fun. They're over-the-top fun.
They are... I guess the best way to describe it is, chunk style.
Quickly, I just want to say to anyone that watches this, I know we constantly give most movies at least
high ratings.
5 or 6 at the lowest, unless they're awful.
Or regarded classics.
This is why we can't be considered reviewers.
Yeah, Nosferatu we give 0.
Well, it was
bad.
We had different opinions. I don't think we both went with 0.
We both didn't like it.
Well, I think I was nicer than that.
I don't remember what I gave it, but it was low. Go watch that episode. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, leave a comment saying what we gave it, because I don't remember, actually.
Yeah.
But anyway, we have too much fun with these movies, and I think that's why, we could never be real critics.
Really be a critic.
Because you're supposed to hate...
most things.
And I can't. This was so fun.
This is just
amazing. Right. What was your least favorite scene?
Okay.
Speaking of trying to hate something we enjoyed.
Very, very early in the movie. Not that means anything, because it is a very short movie.
88 minutes, right?
Yes. The guy that we meet that works at the restaurant, who shouldn't.
No.
He's a bad worker.
Oh, yes. He's the you of fast food.
I mean, worse than that. So he's smoking a cigarette, and he's at work, and he's on the phone with this warehouse guy, and the warehouse guy's
he's ordering food, so
and the warehouse guy's like, "Yo, I want this, and this," and he's like, "Do you want it this style or chunk style?" And then they never tell us what chunk style is, and then he just puts his dirty, grubby mitts from the cigarette
It's a chicken restaurant
into a pile of made chicken and throws it into a bag and then leaves.
It's literally just battered chunks of chicken, so it's kind of like chicken fingers, but they're just like roundish little chunks. They're not quite. They're bigger than nuggets.
They have smaller
more
than
like
tenders.
fried chicken outside instead of just breaded.
It's like
I don't know.
Like giant popcorn chicken.
We tried to look it up to see if it was a thing, and the only thing that came up was this movie.
And not even subsequent sequels. Like
Right, because the other ones don't take place.
Because I'm pretty sure the guy probably lost his job if he ever makes it into a sequel.
Well,
I hope the guy lost his job.
Okay.
I guess my least favorite is I never find out what chunk chicken is.
I mean, it's just chunks of chicken.
But that bothers me.
They named it well for what it was. Anyway, also, my least favorite thing.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was the guy, the cop that gets shot at the beginning.
Yes.
Gets shot because he's a complete idiot the way he did it. They're like, come over here. Here are the guns we are selling you. And while they're standing next to the guns, he pulls out one little handgun, waving it wildly, and goes, aha, I'm a cop. You're under arrest.
He does do that.
And it turns out that's not the way to handle that situation.
Not if you don't want to die.
Well, he did, so he learned that lesson.
Did he? He didn't stick around long enough to learn.
Not for the future, but he,
In the moment.
In the moment, he was learning. What was your favorite scene? Because that was bad.
It was awful. Okay, so at some point in the movie, they decide that... Okay, so very early, again, doesn't really matter, you find out that the woman cop is pregnant.
Like, you find that out before the bad guys show up?
Yes. So suddenly she is the crux of the story.
Right.
Which it shouldn't have... Like, it's weird. The whole thing is weird.
Well, it was important for at the end when they tied it into the thing trying to take over the baby and be born through her.
So, like...
It mattered.
The whole... Sure. So, like...
They had to pretend they had a theme or
at some point in the movie, her child, who she's, like, pregnant with, wills himself into existence as a toy.
Correct.
Yes.
Because, of course, he does.
Yeah, of course. And then, as the toy...
Specifically a nutcracker.
Yes. Turns into a child...
A thing that you would do, wouldn't you?
To fight the little boy who is the demon.
Correct.
And somehow...
No, you don't give away the ending.
That's the finale. Is like...
How
this big demon movie about demon toys.
All these people, and this one toy shows up and goes, shh.
Come here.
Come with me. And she's like, okay. Because obviously she had a mother's connection to the spirit of her unborn son that was now
a toy?
Controlling a toy. Because
Is
why
the
not?
toy. Is
Why
the
not?
toy.
Why
Is
not?
the toy.
I mean, why not?
So I guess the best part of this movie is it is ridiculous.
Like, over the top ridiculous.
The
My
things
favorite.
that try to make sense
Make it worse. Like, that's why I say don't bother going in with logic on your mind, because that'll explain
sit back
these.
and watch.
We never gave the quick score, but I have to say my favorite thing. I have to say my favorite thing first. So we're going to do it out of order, because my favorite part, we started talking about earlier, what was the thing that she said to the guy right before she started stabbing his eyes? She was like, look at this, or something really core.
Look at this.
She's like, look, and stabs him repeatedly in the eye. One eye. Just one. Over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And it was hilarious.
It was great. It was, yes, please, more.
Well, there are more.
There are more.
Part 2 came out after Part 3.
Yeah, there are exactly the wrong order of movies.
Yeah, it goes like 1, then Dollman versus Demonic Toys.
Then Puppet Master versus Demonic Toys. Then 3.
No, I think, Yeah, then 3.
And then 2. And then 3 Baby Oopsie movies. And now Jack in the Box.
Right.
Okay.
And those, there's not crossover, I assume. It's literally just one at a time.
I hope that they're just as good.
And none of them are like in the same area of the world. One's in a castle.
Sure, right? Yeah.
Because, exactly. They knew what they had and they kept doing it. And I like that. Also, what we forgot to say earlier, Rotten Tomatoes is a website where they take an aggregate score, positive and negative, of, like, they take all the positives and negatives of the critics, they put them together, and they give you the percentage that are positive, and the critics have this movie at
50. I mean, if you look at their website, there's not a number, but there are 4 reviews.
And 2 are positive.
2 of them really liked this movie, and the other 2 gave it 1-star ratings.
Then there's the people who usually do a better job of, like, enjoying horror and comedy.
Well, at least
and this is
hundreds
both.
Of people actually made that.
And only 29% of people said positive things about this movie. And I disagree, because it is fun. This is a sit back with a bunch of friends and laugh along with and at the same time this movie.
Oh my goodness.
Anything else you want to say about this?
I mean, watch it.
Yeah, definitely. Like, if you enjoy, like, that, it doesn't quite make sense, bad acting, slightly off, that, you know.
Like, I don't know if it's streaming anywhere, but don't watch it on YouTube.
We're going to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, not as if it was compared to, like, The Exorcist, you know, a good quality horror movie. We're going to rate it on, it's a full moon straight to video release, which it is.
Yes.
And anyone that knows what that is, it's one step up from Trauma, but it's a half step.
Yeah. I don't know.
Trauma
Maybe.
Trauma is definitely...
Trauma's had their fair share of, like,
way worse.
skips.
No. Like, they're good, but they're quality-wise. So our number is not based on comparing it to, like, good quality movies.
You notice how we just separated ourselves from the rest of critics? This is why we can't be one of them.
Yes. So, for the fun, craptastic fest that this is, what do you rate it?
I'm gonna give this like a 9.5. Yeah.
Like, it's super fun. I'm gonna go 8.5, but for what we're talking about, like, schlocky, bloody, doesn't make sense, but it's fun, especially if you got multiple people, possibly inebriated on some sort of thing that you could eat or inhale or something, you know.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, most places it's legal now at this point.
Exactly.
That is definitely the better way to watch this. I'll just put it that way.
Watching it at all.
Now, why don't we have them throw up the end stuff and we'll say our goodbyes, right?
Yeah.
That's about it.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, that. Okay. So you can watch this show on Fact TV channel 1082, Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. and Fridays at 7 p.m.
You can also check us out on Facebook, like Gory Story Time and Fact TV, because, you know, they live stream like they're doing right now. I don't know if anyone's currently watching, but if so, hi, and if not, well,
hi anyway, you know. But you can go to fact8.com and watch a bunch of the back episodes of this, as well as many other shows.
That's true.
A lot.
You can follow me on Twitter. I haven't tweeted in a while, but I'm at Craig Jakes, all one word, all lowercase.
I'm at Jiggly Fernbrain. I also haven't tweeted in a while.
And he usually tweets things that I say. And there's been some gold lately that he's missing, and it's annoying. So
yeah, you know.
So I would say, you know, if you know him in person, slap him and say, tweet more. That about it?
Yeah.
Oh, and go to YouTube. Type in Gory Story Time. The two pages that should come up is my page for Gory Story Time and the Fact TV page. Give a like and subscribe and smash the notification bell for both.
And if you find the answer, comment down below. I need to know, what is chunk style chicken?
I mean, it literally only brings you to talk about this movie if you Google it. All right. That's Gory Story Time for this week.
Until next week, I've been your host, Jason.
I'm his co-host and father, Craig. And sweet dreams.